What's happening? Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone?
Settle down, everyone. Let's go. Get out of my way.
Okay, let's remember those procedures. What are they? That's the wrong way. We've already tried that.
Hello and welcome to Multiverseatile. My name is Jake Long, and we are in the midst of a DCU crisis on infinite social media platforms. Okay, there's probably a better title than that. Anyway, though, today I'm weighing in on some of the latest rumors and reports going around the internet about the DCU. Yes, some of this has been out for a while, but everybody is still talking about it, so I wanted to talk about it too. Ever since we found out that Henry Cavill will not be playing Superman, the internet has gone crazy. And yes, this is unfortunate news. I am personally sad about it. I would have liked to see him play Superman again. I do, however, understand the change, but I don't like it, and I don't think it is necessary for success. But again, I don't blame them for doing that. Unfortunately, the old regime made some bad decisions, and for whatever reason, the new leadership thinks that they have to get rid of Henry Cavill. From a success standpoint, I have to admit that there is a pattern of failure that is too hard to ignore. Except there is one problem. Henry Cavill's movies did make money. Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman were successful, although it does seem that they should have made more money than they actually did. The reactions to these movies, especially Batman vs. Superman, were part of what led to the failure of the Justice League movie. Now, there were quite a few more things wrong with that movie, as we all know, and that's why it didn't do too well even after the first weekend. Now, if we take a look at the past few DCEU movies, and I'm saying DCEU because that's what it was, the pattern seems to conclude that big change is necessary. While I don't personally think that means Henry Cavill has to go, I can see why David Zaslav and/or Peter Safran and/or James Gunn do. With the failures of Wonder Woman 84 and Birds of Prey, the DCEU brand was looking worse and worse. Now, we're all mad that they put Superman on the sidelines, but after the disappointment of the Justice League, I think that they were trying to figure out the best way to bring him back, but felt stuck. Should they just make another Superman movie that takes place after Justice League, but ignores the fact that that movie was a mess? Or should they just start completely over with Henry Cavill still playing Superman? With the massive outcry of fans, Warner Brothers did make one great decision, and that is, of course, that they allowed Zack Snyder to come back and finish his cut of the Justice League. Unfortunately, even with the movie's great success, they insisted that the theatrical cut would be the story going forward. And while that plan was not the best choice, they didn't really do much with it either. And of course, the coronavirus outbreak didn't help things, but they did have a few projects that they had faith in, and those were Joker and the Batman. There are reports that the former CEO was completely intending to bring back Cavill, and David Zaslav may have went with that if Black Adam had been as successful as it was supposed to be. I think that whoever made the call to replace Henry Cavill looked at how not even a major movie star like Dwayne Johnson could save the DCEU. Even though he was playing a lesser-known character, he theoretically should have been able to pull in more people to watch this movie. Add on top of that the fact that the Batman and even Joker were two movies introducing new versions of these characters, and they were both wildly successful. I can see how these events make it look like everything about the DCEU has to go. Now, like many of you, I'm not convinced that everything is going to be let go, such as the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, but we'll see. I can see how that makes James Gunn look biased, but also those projects came later. It's a tough call. If only they had been working on a Superman movie with Henry Cavill that had rebooted the entire franchise and released it this year back in July. I mean, they already saw the success of Joker, but I guess they just think they need a new face with the new brand. And there is the supposed money issue as well. Reports have been coming out that the studio doesn't have enough money to pay the former actors. On the one hand, that makes sense, but on the other hand, I wouldn't be surprised if Henry Cavill was willing to take a small pay cut or even make a deal where he gets a small upfront fee and then makes a percentage of however much the movie makes. But add on top of those things the rumor that Ben Affleck had cold feet about playing the role of Batman long term, and things start to look a little hopeless. Personally, though, I think that if that is the case, then they should just recast him. Marvel has been recasting since the beginning with War Machine and the Hulk. For years, the rumors were that The Flash was going to reset everything and then we would get a chance at a fresh start with familiar faces. There were also other rumors that we would see Batman played by Michael Keaton and different things like that, Batgirl, etc. But there was some hope for the original actors. Unfortunately, that day is gone. It would have been nice to see, and I don't blame Dwayne Johnson really for any of this. It seemed like he did what he could to bring Superman back. Now, if Superman had come back and Black Adam had been successful and we started going in the direction that they started heading, I wouldn't be surprised if Johnson tried to make Black Adam a much bigger part of DC Comics and even Superman's story than he actually is. So, yeah, we might have been facing a whole list of different problems. But I could also see it working out, and Dwayne Johnson, makes Black Adam a little more popular than he's supposed to be, but Superman is still at the forefront. But I guess we'll never see that happen. It does let me down to hear that Dwayne Johnson didn't want to appear in Shazam. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but it would be nice to see him recognized. The character of Black Adam goes hand in hand with the character of Shazam. So if you're going to play that character, you need to be on board with being in the same story as Shazam. I'll probably say this too many times, but I still think it was an unnecessary move to get rid of Henry Cavill. But I don't think that means that the DCU will be bad. I think that it will be good, if not great. I have faith in James Gunn's abilities, and I don't think we are going to get a Superman movie with the same humor as The Peacemaker, but it still saddens me that Henry Cavill won't be there. Also, I do wish they would come out and say who else is gone, but my guess is that all of the Justice League will be recast. And at the new year, I'm assuming that will be part of the announcement. I don't think we will be seeing a much younger Superman, and I'm guessing that him knowing all of the major characters means all of the major characters in his Metropolis world, like Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, Perry White, and maybe even John Henry Irons. But who knows, maybe he's worked with Batman before. I think in the end, we will get an actor who is about 10 years younger than Henry Cavill, but we'll get a Superman that could have been played by Cavill because he doesn't look that old, and there are movie magic ways to make him look a little younger, and he could go ask Keanu Reeves what his secret is, but anyway, I digress. That would be a sad realization to see that Henry Cavill could have played this Superman all along, but hopefully it is a good movie, and hopefully we can see him come back to play a different version of Superman in the future. And that's all for me today. If you like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe if you'd like to see more similar videos, and leave a comment if you feel so inclined. I'd be happy to read them. Thanks for watching, and take care.